take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude.
You can compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
Floyd Mayweather has once again shaken up the boxing world, calling out Terence Crawford immediately after Canelo Alvarez's latest fight. Known for his flawless record and unmatched confidence, Mayweather made it clear he's ready to step back into the ring for another high-stakes showdown. The possibility of Mayweather facing Crawford, widely seen as one of the most dangerous pound-for-pound fighters today, has fans and analysts buzzing, adding a new layer of anticipation to boxing's ever-evolving landscape.
Let me ask you though, Canelo this week actually said something interesting. He goes that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like he is?
I think he's more all-rounded in some ways, but Mayweather was so good at certain things that made him impossible to beat. He really stuck to his niche of style, where Crawford kind of tries to fight the more honest, I guess, exciting, traditional way, being there, just moving out the way, landing the shot, where Mayweather would have you dancing around him and chasing him and falling short and falling in and countering the life out of you, and knew and understood 10-9 rounds better than anyone else. You only have to win 7, 10-9 rounds clear and you've won the fight as long as you don't get put down. And obviously he never really got put down. I know there's a few question marks, but for all intents and purposes never got put down, and he was the best, one of the best to ever do it. It's very hard to go a whole career undefeated.
Terence "Bud" Crawford defended his perfect record with a unanimous decision win over Canelo Alvarez, becoming the undisputed super middleweight champion. The fight, held September 13, 2025 at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, was one of the year's most anticipated matchups. Moving up 2 weight classes, Crawford entered with supreme confidence. Despite Canelo's size and power advantage, Crawford dictated the pace, using slick footwork, sharp boxing, and crisp combinations to neutralize the Mexican superstar.
What did you think? What did you think of the fight?
Man, I loved it, man. I love the fight, man. I love the fight. I did not know how it was going to go. I didn't think the weight was going to be a problem with Terence Crawford. I'm on record saying I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it stood to be seen. It needed to be seen. And I knew we would have known after the first, second, third round. You know what I'm saying? And when I seen how Canelo was respecting his jab, and how Canelo was respecting his power from the very beginning, I knew how it was going to go. And I knew that Bud was only going to get stronger and get bolder and, started wearing that. Canelo is known to start to wear a little bit in there later on.
Everyone said that Crawford was not going to exchange tonight, and he traded with Canelo up close.
Man, Bud is the best, man. Bud is the best. I've been on wax and saying that, but I've been on wax and saying that for a couple of years now. I've bet against Bud on Spence. I bet against Bud on Porter. I didn't think that Bud was the best. I got to give it to him. Bud the best, right? He's hands down. He's the best. He's the best right now. I don't think nobody need to question him no more. I mean, you kind of got to give him respect no matter what. You got to give him respect. He just went up 2 weight classes what people said he couldn't do. He's doing everything that people say he can't do, and he is doing it with ease.
Break,
you got to respect that.
Break it down for me. How did he win that fight in the way he won it tonight?
He won the fight by taking Canelo respect. I think he was already in Canelo's head a little bit. I think that even though Canelo knew he was stronger and everything else, these fighters are still humans and they hear what people are saying. Canelo was, Crawford was undefeated. Look at what he did to Spence. I mean, look at what he's doing to some of these people. So no matter what, I mean, you have to take that into consideration.
For this bout, Floyd Mayweather Jr. bet on Crawford, trusting his skills to overcome the odds. Despite Crawford being labeled the underdog, Mayweather wagered $50,000 on him at plus 148 odds. Crawford's unanimous victory paid off handsomely, earning Mayweather $124,000. The bet not only reflected Floyd's faith in Crawford but also showcased his keen eye for boxing dynamics.
Check this out, guys. Floyd Mayweather just shared on social media that he bet $50,000 on Crawford to win, and he won $75,000 back. So Crawford made Mayweather $74,000. Most people that I talked to were betting on Canelo. A few people bet on Crawford. How much money did you win on Crawford? $200 here, $200 there. But most people that I know bet on Canelo. And we'll hear from Canelo, we're going to hear from Crawford, and I'll keep you guys posted. But right now, Floyd Money Mayweather, bet on Crawford and make some money. What do you want to see Crawford do next? What do you want to see Canelo do next? Let me know. Definitely interesting developments here tonight. When I watched the fight live, I thought Canelo won. I think Canelo won. I have to watch it again, but with no audio because I know the broadcasters were all against Canelo. They were all against him all week from the rivals. I don't expect anything different.
Mayweather also made his stance clear in the pound-for-pound debate, naming Terence Crawford the best fighter in the world today. He praised Crawford's discipline, skill set, and dominance across multiple divisions. For Mayweather, being pound-for-pound isn't just about collecting belts, it's about proving superiority over elite opponents time and time again. And in his view, Crawford has done exactly that.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number.
Crawford, for his part, has long admired Mayweather, not only his in-ring brilliance but also how he managed his career and legacy. Over the years, this admiration grew into a genuine bond. Crawford often receives tips from Floyd, advice he takes seriously and applies. Their relationship reflects a mutual respect built on ambition, greatness, and an understanding of what it takes to become legendary.
But I know how you is. You be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever... Keep it real, boy. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person.
After the fight, Canelo Alvarez made a surprising admission: "I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." The statement carried weight, considering Alvarez suffered his first professional loss to Mayweather back in 2013 at just 23 years old. Crawford's dominant display, marked by fast hands, precise tactics, and masterful footwork, silenced doubts, as he neutralized Canelo's power despite moving up 2 divisions.
Fight Hub TV, right here in the middle.
Yeah.
Champ, first off, I want to thank you for the illustrious career that you have given us in the game. You've been a steadfast professional in the way that you conducted yourself, and I want to thank you on behalf of all of the boxing media.
Thank you, sir.
Number
my
2,
pleasure.
Champ, I wanted to ask you, this was a fight that we haven't seen from you before. We've never seen you have the sustained and prolonged frustration during the fight. Was there a point in time where you figured that this just wasn't going to be my night? And if you did, when did that happen?
No, I never thought that. I always try. All the rounds I try, but you need to accept it, right? Sometimes you cannot go, and I try all the rounds. I never think about that because, imagine, so I cannot think in that way, but I try my best tonight.
And lastly for me, Champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle, pushed back on Canelo's comments, suggesting they were meant to make Canelo's own loss appear less damaging. Jeff stressed that Canelo was already in his prime when Floyd beat him, and argued that while Crawford is brilliant, no one has matched Floyd's defensive genius.
Remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other 2 judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
yeah, what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very very young in the game, obviously.
Yeah, very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah, but
man, that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but
How you at the top of your career in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
But
want to make himself look like he did something.
Trainer Greg Hackett also weighed in, siding with Floyd Mayweather in the debate. He acknowledged Crawford's win as impressive, but insisted Mayweather's defensive IQ and ring mastery set him apart. To Hackett, Mayweather's perfect record and dominance across weight classes keep him above Crawford in the all-time rankings.
The Floyd Mayweather that Canelo Alvarez fought.
Yeah.
In the last version of Terence Crawford that we've seen in the ring.
Yeah.
Who's the better fighter?
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ, you know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we ain't know too much about. People don't understand how much a fighter could be thrown off by what he don't know. And the reason it throws you off is because you're actually learning about the fighter while you're in there. That's what Bud went up against that night. That's why he didn't look.
Promoter Eddie Hearn dismissed Canelo's take as well, saying Crawford's resume doesn't stack up to Mayweather's. He argued many of Crawford's opponents were past their best, while Floyd consistently beat prime champions across multiple divisions.
Canelo saying that Crawford's a better fighter than Mayweather. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. But I think Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. The thing is with Crawford, and I was kind of goading him on this, and it's not his fault. His resume's not that impressive. Like I said to him, tell me your best win ever. This is what I said to him. And you know what he said? Ricky Burns. Right? Now Ricky Burns is a great fighter. It's my guy. He's a 3-division world champion. But you can't say that he is, like one of the greats. He's one of the greats of Scottish boxing. But if you're talking about one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time, it's not Terence's fault that he hasn't been able to get those fights. But a lot of the guys that he's fought have been done. Even arguably Ricky Burns at the time. I know he went on to win other world championships, but he was kind of on the slide at that time. Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Gamboa, all of these guys. Who else did he beat? Ndongo, like Errol Spence, another example. He is, Terence is brilliant, but he's never actually really had many notable victories. This would be it. I mean, this would be an incredible achievement. But I just feel like at the age that they're at, like, what is going to happen in this fight? And I just see I don't think Terence, because he shouldn't, is going to take that many chances in the fight. He needs to use his movement, use his footwork, which Canelo doesn't like, and win rounds. And Canelo doesn't really like to force a fight. When did you last see Canelo really trying to get a finish?
Carmamel Martin echoed the sentiment, declaring Floyd Mayweather the true GOAT. While he praised Crawford's excellence, especially his win over Canelo, Martin stressed that greatness is measured by longevity, perfection, and consistent dominance. Crawford may be elite, but Mayweather, he argued, remains in a class of his own.
Where do you sit with this? Because 2 pound-for-pound greats of this era. Canelo, we see the resume. Crawford, 2-time undisputed. Potentially this weekend becomes 3. I've said in a few interviews, is it skills pay the bills, or does a good big man beat a good little man? How do you see it?
I feel like the skills pay the bills, and I feel like Crawford's not that much littler than Canelo. We've seen in the face-off that they're around the same size. If not, Crawford look a little bigger than. Yeah, for sure. So really just we're gonna see tomorrow. How it plays out. Whoever the better man is that night, I feel like will win. I feel like it's even playing fields, and both guys coming ready. So we're just gonna have to see.
if Terence does win this, a lot of people are saying that puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd, and a lot of people are saying Floyd is the greatest, but does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonards, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well, because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. You know, of course, nobody will ever. I feel like Floyd will always be the greatest of all time.
Crawford, however, brushed off the comparisons. He emphasized that each fighter belongs to his own era, Mayweather in his, and Crawford now in his. He insisted there's no need for direct comparison, making clear he's focused on carving his own legacy. His trainer Brian "Bomac" McIntyre echoed this, stressing that Crawford deserves time to rest after such a historic victory, rather than jumping straight into talks of future fights.
And you know what? We're going to get back in the gym. We're going to get back in the gym, and we're going to assess that. And, you know, right now I just want him to go on vacation, have some fun, spend time with his family, man, because we trained for like probably a half a year for that fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of time spent away from home, a lot of time spent away from the family. So I just want him to just go get back home.
And what for you?
Yeah.
Damn. And for you? Hey, this is the thing.
Appreciate you.
What you saying about training a half a year?
We trained almost a half a year for that fight. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why it was so sharp. You know, everybody.
Bernie the Boxer Thigh, a close ally of Crawford, criticized the judges' scoring. He argued that Crawford's dominance wasn't fully reflected on the cards, claiming many rounds were too close on paper despite Crawford's clear control of the action. Even with the unanimous win, Bernie felt the scores failed to capture the true gap between the fighters.
This is the second time he destroyed every myth. Can he take a punch? Is he strong? Is this guy too strong? Man, he did everything. He did everything, didn't he? Stood and fought with him. See how he
was in the pocket. Was in the pocket.
Turned him. Did everything. Talking about he too strong. Turned him a couple times. Pushed him. Crawford the best.
Mayweather himself carries a unique perspective, having beaten Canelo back in 2013 when the Mexican star was undefeated and rising fast. That win remains a jewel in Floyd's legendary career, showcasing his defensive brilliance. Now, by calling out Crawford, Mayweather isn't just fueling speculation, he's reminding the world he still sees himself capable of sharing the stage with the very best.
He fought Floyd Mayweather at what, 23?
23.
That's so fucking young. And he was like, that was when he was
he was
prime,
in his
right?
prime, yeah.
Prime. You were like 20. What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him, because if you beat him, you're gonna be the best in the world. 23, so imagine that. But he was the better man that night. A lot of experience. He's a great fighter.
So here's the question: if Floyd Mayweather really steps into the ring with Terence Crawford, could it become one of the biggest fights in boxing history? Or should Floyd stay retired and let Crawford carry the torch? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.